Hey guys, Ron DeSantis totally owned Disney. Spoiler, he didn't. Absolutely didn't. He was picking out the curtains and organizing the deck chairs on the Titanic by signing this new bill ending Disney's corporate kingdom. Because you take a look at the actual bill that's down there and it does absolutely nothing beside just reword a couple of different things. So without further ado, let's get into this. Governor Ron DeSantis co-signed Disney World's self-governing status to the historical dustbin on February 27th as he signed the bill setting up a new board to govern the Central Florida property, one of the world's premier tourist destinations. Even just peek the wording of that to begin with. He signed a bill setting up a new board to govern the Central Florida property. Gee willikers, that sounds exactly like the same situation that was happening beforehand. Self-governing Reedy Creek is just going to be renamed and reclassified, and nothing's gonna change. DeSantis staged the bill with a backdrop not to the Magic Kingdom, but a big yellow fire truck at Reedy Creek Fire Station Number 4. Reedy Creek was the name of Disney's self-governing district, which had governmental powers unlike those granted to any other businesses in the state. Oh, okay, cool. That's what did happen beforehand. Today, the day the corporate kingdom finally comes to an end. To a smattering of applause by people that didn't actually read the bill. Gee, it's almost like all of this stuff kicked off by some people that didn't read the bill to begin with, and now he's being applauded because people didn't read the bill afterwards. Big think on that one. It's almost like when your bias is confirmed, nobody wants to do any of the work. Nobody wants to do any of the work. You just hear the things that you want to, and then you just live by your emotions. But when you live by rationality, boy, the world might get a little bit more difficult to navigate, but the response and the conclusions, sorry, a little bit of a stroke there, are a little bit more honest. State Senate had approved the bill on February 10th after the House passed it the previous day. New legislation means Disney will no longer have governmental powers, including the right to tax, to avoid state building and fire codes, to avoid state regulatory reviews and approvals, to issue tax-exempt bonds, and to operate in its own utility and emergency services within the 25,000 acres that straddle Orange and Osceola, whatever, counties. Orange County. There we go. We know Orange County, right? The measure, which takes effect in June 2023, renames a Reedy Creek Improvement District, dubbing it Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Okay. CEFTOD. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Its 5 supervisors will be appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Florida Senate. Okay, so this, formerly the special district that doesn't have governing powers, is going to be specially governed by people that are appointed. A distinction without a difference, really. The new district will continue the old district's functions. There you go. There you go. If you just did a cursory amount of reading, you would have figured out that this is absolutely nothing. Such as those listed above, but under the new organizational structure, it will remain exempt from property taxes, a detail that has irked some. Yeah, the biggest thing about the Reedy Creek Special District, state of Florida got none of the property taxes from Disney World. Disney World. It got no taxes from that at all whatsoever. Was Disney bond, were there Disney bonds out there in circulation? Were they building unsafe structures that were not fit for purpose? How many disasters did you hear happening at Disney World on a consistent basis? Oh, next to zero? Big shock on that one. So yeah, we're just going to take out some of the superfluous stuff and we're just going to call it a win. But in actuality, you didn't change anything that actually mattered. Disney said it won't resist the new arrangement because it still benefits them. They still aren't getting property taxed. Like, what are you doing? Okay, the new arrangement and will now work with the state. Disney World CEO Jeff Valley said in a statement, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll work with them so that we can help pick sympathetic figures to sit on this board and then nothing will ultimately change. But don't worry, Ron DeSantis can get a good fucking photo op. DeSantis and the other speakers who joined him at the podium reviewed a wide range of issues tied to the tussle with the big entertainment company. It was triggered last spring when Disney executives came out against Ron DeSantis' parental rights and education law, dubbed by opponents the Don't Say Gay bill, which in the 7 pages of the bill says gay nowhere in there, and that it only says that, yeah, you should probably teach age-appropriate material to kids in kindergarten through the 3rd grade. But it was an attack on the alphabet community. Ugh, just emotional retards on both sides of the aisle come forward and just meet on this superfluous bill. John Shirley, president of the Reedy Creek Firefighters Association, accused the company of having sacrificed public safety, obscuring how shorthanded and underfunded first responders like firefighters and paramedics were, and how few of their vehicles were ready to go on any given day, despite the $30 million surplus of Reedy Creek's budget. Okay. Nick Caterano, a longtime and second-generation Disney employee, his uncle went to work there when the park opened in the 70s, outlined the company's firing and harassment of employees like himself and didn't want to get the jab or wear masks. Gee, was any of that stuff negotiated and figured out in the bill, that you can't fire people based on their vaccination status? Oh, no, that was done by a separate bill that was out there, but Ron really took it to Disney, right? He also spoke of his dismay at the shift of Disney's once family-friendly content. Well, it's still family-friendly, just Disney is redefining what it means to be a family. It's just a more inclusive family. And why is nobody showing up to our movies? And why does our Ant-Man film just fucking flop spectacularly? Oh well, Disney has since doubled down on embracing all things woke. Ye just continued to say, he said the woke word, he's addressing the things that really matter. Fucking yuck. We've gone from Cinderella and Snow White and Pocahontas to the little demon spawn and the child. Yeah, he's not a real Christian. He's got Satan in him and an exorcism. Shut the fuck up. We have really seen the cartoon Proud Family on Disney Plus. Yeah, okay, we all seen the clip on Twitter and we all got in our feelings about that. Oh, it's so racist. It's like, you know how you just go ahead and avoid that stuff? You turn the fucking channel off. Big shock on how you deal with all of this woke stuff. Stop paying attention to it. Stop giving people your fucking money. Jesus Christ, you people are stupid sometimes. Mandy Schaefer, a mother. Oh, see, we've got a mother on our side. A mother grown up in the area, said Disney World was interwoven into every aspect of her youth. This is the same argument that morons on the internet say. Star Wars has been ruined. I used to look up to Luke Skywalker, but then he threw his lightsaber over his shoulder, and that's why I decided to hang myself. For fuck's sakes, grow up. I grew up with baseball. Guess what? They've done a bunch of fuck shit that I'm not happy with or satisfied with over the past few years, and I'm not watching any more baseball. Yo, man, when it comes to Disney, I grew up on the Aladdin cartoon, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, all of that stuff. I don't take any of the shit that Disney did personally. Then again, maybe it's because I had strong role models in the form of a nice, strong family unit that I didn't need to make escapism a permanent solution in my life. Maybe. But her family started breaking its ties with Disney in 2020 when they couldn't tolerate the park's masking rules and decided to give up their annual passes. Yeah, but don't worry, the next time another pandemic comes around, Disney still has free license to do anything that they want. So don't worry about it. But Ron's really taking it to Disney, right, guys? I simply don't want Disney, which I once trusted. Why would you trust a corporation that's not accountable to anybody? You're just being a shitty parent. To teach my kids or any children to be comfortable with or participate in immorality. Yes, of course, just continue to get in your feelings. The law completes a journey that began on March 7th. Really? Holy fuck. That's when it first came out. Interesting. The rest of that just kind of rehashes the whole history lesson behind the Don't Say Gay bill. So yeah, secret land acquisitions. Let's just get into some more of the details, shall we? Disney has long enjoyed a unique status for business and will continue to do so into the future. Both brothers Walt and Roy Disney began their secret land acquisition in the early 1960s, using fictional front companies to buy land. Oh, come on, people still do that all the time. The project was made public in 65, and the Reedy Creek district was formed in 67. Yeah, he was really held accountable for that. Gee, who was the governor at the time? DeSantis? Walt Disney World opened in 71, bearing bearing the name of its founder, who died before its completion. Banana, he's gone far too soon. Disney World put Orlando on the map. It transformed the sleepy town of about 200,000 in 1960. Yo, that's a pretty bussin' town in 1960 into a major metropolis. More than 2 million people. Yeah, it's still just a big old resort town with a lot of questionable fare, if you know what I mean. Visiting at Disney World's Magic Kingdom became a mandatory box check to families with small children. Either there or Disneyland. I've never personally gone. It was always one of those things where, oh, we got to take the kids to Disneyland, and instead of going to Disneyland, we just go to West Edmonton Mall. 6 of one, half a dozen the other, right? They got a roller coaster inside the mall. It's really cool. DeSantis accomplished several things politically with the move. Oh, please tell us about the flowers that he got on the curtains that he's going to put up there. To reign in Disney, said Susan McManus. Oh, no, the only Susan who fucking mattered just stepped down not that long ago, so I ain't listening to no Susan bitch. He showed strength to the powerful organizations that publicly opposed him. Yeah, ooh, if you go ahead and you fight back against the government, you know what we're gonna do? Nothing, but we'll have a press conference about the nothing that we did. While Republicans have historically been criticized for being too cozy with big business, that should do something to really change that. I'm sure the activists that are all over social media, it's like, oh, this is the worst kind of government interference into our private business. It just all of a sudden those tankies are just going to become overnight free market capitalists. Big fucking wonder how these people can stand up without having a spine, a backbone, morals, or principles. Other business owners who don't enjoy the same privileges as Disney are likely to appreciate the move. Why? It does nothing, but it looks like they've done something. So let's be completely fair. If Disney World you can track is nearly solely responsible for just making Orlando, Florida, just a booming place where you drive millions of dollars of economic growth from one place, probably billions at this point in time, wouldn't you try to incentivize those businesses from showing up? It's the exact same way that Trump was able to incentivize a bunch of different manufacturing jobs to come over when he took office. Like, if Ron was being honest about this, it's like, yeah, we just negotiated a better deal. And no, he's just trying to say, it's like, we stuck it to Disney. It's like, bro, you didn't. You absolutely didn't. Aubrey Jewett, a political science professor at the University of Central Florida, told Epoch Times in an email that DeSantis views this as a win. Yeah, he definitely does view it. I believe that it will help him with his presumed goal of attracting more potential Republican voters in the presidential primary, raising more money. Well, he was still just going to get all that Jeb Bush neocon money anyways, and solidifying his image as a conservative fighter. Yeah, that's what they need. Just a whole bunch of an early 2000s renaissance. That's what we need from DeSantis, right? But DeSantis faces criticism from within his own party. Jewett noted, some Republicans don't think he followed through on his promise to remove special privileges. Yeah, like the people who analyze what he actually did instead of saying, oh, he just got rid of the special district and that made things change. It's like it didn't. And some business folks and libertarians, are also leery that the governor punished a company for simply exercising their First Amendment rights. Yeah, no. You think that libertarians and business folks are going to be critical of him of that? I guess we got a different opinion, but he's a poli-sci professor with a shitty mustache and a panel van, so good for him, man. So yeah, ultimately, what does this do? Well, it's an optics win for DeSantis. It's a rallying cry for Democrats that are out there, and I'm sure he'll raise a bunch of a bunch of money for his neocon back push towards the presidency. See if he'll be stupid enough to take the bait in order to get destroyed on an open mic, open forum debate. I like Ron. I like Ron when he actually does stuff instead of when he starts to posture, because he can only do a Trump impression until the real guy comes around, and then it just starkly reminds him and everybody else who's watching who's the real man in the room. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.